Shabbat Shalom. Come join, come together. I love, look how people, when you have a big room, they sit in such interesting ways. I'm the kind of person, I've heard this about men, that they love to sit facing the exit. They always have to know how to get out of a room. But the people on the aisles, I could see that's good. You get an easy way out. The room kind of goes. And it always kind of takes its own shape. But let's take a nice deep breath here. We breathe in all the many things from this week that we want to hold on to, and we breathe out all the things we want to get rid of. Think about a moment this week that stands out. We had Halloween. We had beautiful weather. The trees started to finally really change. Did you look at the beautiful leaves? How many of you had a chance to get out this week? How many of you had a chance to go on a walk, be outside, be with a friend, have a good conversation? All the kind of things that go into a week. It's really important that after all of that, we sit and we just decompress. Because if not, life is so fleeting. We want to hold on to every little moment that's positive. We never know how long we have. And just coming together in this beautiful way is such a beautiful thing. So I'm going to bring up Bruce. Bruce, like many of you, got an email from me asking for gift cards. If you ever get any email from anyone asking for gift cards, it goes right in the trash.
I knew it was a scam because they were asking for gift cards for bacon cheeseburgers. So I said, okay, this is not from Rabbi Alex. I know it. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Tonight we say welcome to November. After a beautiful end to October yesterday. What was it, 78 degrees yesterday? Something like that? Yeah. Couldn't ask for better weather for Halloween.
Warmest Halloween ever.
Yeah.
I heard 75, but I didn't hear 78.
I thought I heard 78, but either way, definitely in the 70s. So tonight we welcome in November, and it is a very bittersweet evening. The bitter part of it is that we say goodbye to Nancy tonight and wish her well. I did tell her when I saw her in the office earlier that I have consulted with the board, and we've decided to not accept her retirement letter. But we will miss her very much, and I know that this is a very emotional night for her. But it's a time for her to begin her next chapter. For those of you that don't know, Nancy, back in the pre-COVID days, we had office volunteers, and we had Jenny, and we had Naomi, and we had my mom. So basically, Nancy had her own little group of Golden Girls. And she was their ringleader. But we have many memories to share of Nancy tonight, and she'll share hers. And we wish her well. You will be missed. Anyway, let's get on with the service. Rabbi and Cantor have all sorts of stuff planned for the evening. And I'll be back later with announcements. We have stuff coming up in the next couple weeks, including Jews of All Hues is coming back. Yeah, we're resuming that this coming week. That'll be exciting, and other stuff as well. So I'll be back with the announcements a little bit later. And Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Bruce. We're going to turn to page 128, where we welcome each other together. Hine ma tovu manayim from the Psalms. How wonderful it is for siblings, brothers and sisters, people just to be together.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת
Page 126, a prayer for the month of November. Sharon over here has a beautiful sweatshirt, which reminds us of the beauty of this month, the Thanksgiving, right? She said she was going to wear it all month long. But let's read this prayer of gratitude together. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We're going to turn to our candle lighting on page 120. We're going backwards. Don't worry, we're going to start going forward, sir. Page 120, candle lighting. We'll bring up Adrian and Linda. Their friendship and partnership has come together because they also have led the healing service for a lot of years at this point. And I think that's probably brought them to be closer friends too, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And plus the forum spiels.
Of course, yeah.
And thank you for filling in on
Oh, yeah.
You did
Cantor.
a beautiful job. I heard it was beautiful.
Cantor said, thanks, Adrian filled in last week. Cantor got a chance to go see a family wedding.
Yeah.
Look at that, first time.
Oh.
The matches we had on Yisker, we threw out this one. Oh, you jinxed it. Oh.
The kind of horror.
Yeah. Remember, that's what I wrote about in my Torah thoughts. You go, This is not an omen.
Themselves a candle horror.
A candle horror. Oh, I love that.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
May the candles of Shabbat light our way through Shabbat, and now we're ready to lift our Kiddush cup. Page 123. Adrian, would you like to lead us? Do you want to come to the microphone here? Just so the people that are joining us offline.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho b'achava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yam tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zeker letzihat mitzrayim kivanu v'chata v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'achava uvratzon hinchavtanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Let's see what Joanne got for you.
It's good.
Oh, good. Okay. Well done.
Okay.
I think I need to bring out the tissues.
Thank
There's nothing better in community than when we find each other. So now that we've welcomed everyone here, actually turn to the person next to you, just say how grateful you are to have them here with you. Sorry, Karen, you got to reach across to Frank there. So now that we've officially welcomed one another in the room, I think there's a guest that's coming in over there. Where is it? What's over there, Kianter? What do you think?
The Shabbat.
The Shabbat bride? Yeah. Yeah, you just came from a wedding. So when the bride comes in, did everyone stand up at the wedding?
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm. And was the bride in white?
Yes, she was.
She was. Okay. It's a cousin of yours, right? Or
Yes.
niece? Okay. So we can picture that moment as we turn to L'Chadodi, page 138. We're going to sing the first and the 9th verse. On the 9th verse, we rise, and if we're lucky, Shabbat or Ed Fine, Dr. Fine will come in and represent. Then we'll welcome Shabbat into the room. We'll welcome each other by waving to one another. Now, he plays a mean Shabbat queen. And
L'Chadodi likrat kala, pende Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, pende Shabbat nekabela. Number 1, Shamur v'sachor b'til orecha, hishrianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemahu echad, v'shemu tiferet, v'lithilah.
L'Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
L'Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, tachem u'nei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala.
Welcome one another.
L'Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi. Last time, everyone.
L'Chadodi likrat kala, pnei
Shabbat nekabela.
We remain standing for our call of community, page 146, our Baruch.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevavach. Baruch Adonai hamevavach li'olam va'ed.
Page 149 at the bottom. Let's read together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw forth or back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before it? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari, Aravi. Page 150. We bring the love of God and the world, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochveinu בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך. ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם ולילה, ועבדך התעשי ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Leolam.
You may be seated. On page 154, Cantor will lead us in Via Hafta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אלוקים מצווך היום לבבך, ושיננת לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות הידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please join with me on 155 with the translation of what we just sang. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the works of your hand. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. So at this point in the service, we think about the momentous things that we still have to do. This will lead into the Michamocha, which is the prayer about the crossing of the sea, and the Amidah, the standing prayer where we address God directly. So this coming week, on Monday, there's a lot of things where we know what's happening on Tuesday, but in advance of Monday, I'm gathering with a group of leaders from across the political spectrum in front of the Theodore Roosevelt inaugural site at noon on Monday. And our message is against political violence and good citizenship. But as part of my duty, I am in charge of giving the closing poem. So I was thinking about what to do, and I had a poem that I wrote in 2020, and it was all about how everywhere you go, there's a red flag and a blue flag, and I'm eating my blueberry yogurt, and it's like everything became partisan. And I realized that's not the message I wanted to talk about. So I was walking around this beautiful weather this week, It just was so amazing. And often I walk with my dogs early in the morning when it's still dark, and by the time we finish our walk, it gets light. And there's a real spirituality in that moment. It's as the sky changes in its many different shades, you just feel something different, something move me. So as often happens, this is where I end up writing poetry, but I thought of what I actually wanted to say. So this is the poem, and let it spur us on to try things that maybe we didn't expect to do, and that there's possibilities when we don't expect there to be. It's called A New Day. The early morning sky was in transition from perfect dark to perfect light, a subtle blue humming with possibility. In between the stars lay the faint outline of white sun, like the way a knife travels into the belly of a watermelon, revealing its red fruit. We may have woken on the wrong side of the bed, but the right was in reach. This is just how it is in the morning as the complexities of night morph into transparent day. And while we can never see fully ahead, for just a moment, let us breathe into what can be. Forgive my judgment, and I'll forgive yours. Does it truly matter what we thought or said in the long ago? Just hold me here, hand over hand, heart over heart. Let us build the world the way we want it, fierce, loving, and full of hope. I invite you to rise with that in mind as we head to our private tefillah, our private meditation. Page starts on page 164 to 180. Feel free to read the Hebrew, English, or just the prayers of your heart. And whenever you're ready, you may be seated. Continue on page 180 with a prayer for peace. We can always use a little bit more of it.
Oseh shalom bimromo, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom. Israel. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael.
May God bring us peace soon in our time. We're going to turn to 371, which is our prayer of healing. I think a lot of you are aware that it is Nancy who, for the last 8 years, has been putting together these beautiful lists and taking messages in when people need it. And we do appreciate her for all that work. I'm going to read our list as a community, and then we'll go around, and if you have names, just raise your hand. We are thinking about, as a community, Neil Agnita, Samuel Altman, Hope Bongiorno, Reverend Jin Callan, David Cohen, Eric Dennis, Gloria Fine, Barbara Frieda, Carol Gettings, Beverly Geisler, Denise and Jared Gilbin, Dick Gordon, Carolyn and Ernie Grosser, Dave Imowitz, Barbara Kane, Remy Levine, Maya Ruth Korn Matlock, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Anthony Legalbo, Shelby Madsen, Michael Malik, Beth Marcus, Howard Lewis Myers, Terry Miller, Judy Osowitz, Angela Robillard, Shel Rossi, Cindy Rotella, Paul Roy, Sarah Korn Rothschild, Brandon Ryan, Damon Sirota, Deb Serena, Carol Silverman, Wyatt Alexander Simpson, Gary Spiceman, Lenny Sparagan, Lorenzo Stewart, Robin Weinstein, Mike Wheeler, Gail Zaretsky, Jillian Zabala, Elizabeth Mayer, Sarah Esther Bat Malcha, Chana Bat Shoshana, Meyer Yaakov, Carla Bat Chana, Ruven Ben Moishe, Yosef Ben Zissel, Hinda Sarah Bat Ruchel, and Chana Ezra Ben Shual. If there's other names, just raise your hand. Let's bring all those names into our hearts as we sing the Misha Berach in the middle of 371.
Who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit,
complete healing of body and soul. May all of our prayers go out to where that's needed, both in this room and amongst us, and also outside of the room, the people that we're heart deep in our prayers and hearts. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, I'm going to come over here and see if you can guess the Torah portion. Did you get it? I'll come down. You see? Arshat Noah. Yeah, everyone see? I have a collection of ties. This one I can only wear once a year. Hanukkah ties, 8 days. Noah ties, just one Shabbat. So I'm going to talk to you about some lessons that I have learned about the Noah story. But before I do, I want to share a conversation I had with my son this morning. Sometimes kids, they see the world in a way that's different because they don't have to have the assumptions that we have. So we were driving to school this morning, and my son looked out and saw all the different political flags on everyone's different lawns. There's not too many of them, but there were a bunch of flags out, and he said, "Abba, why do people put flags down? Why do they put the flags in front of their house? The markers, the political markers?" And I thought, well, first of all, I never asked that question. Why? That's a good question. Sometimes they could just, it's not an obvious thing. We didn't have to do things this way. And I thought about it. It's probably not for the reason that you necessarily think. It's not necessarily only about they believe in this election and they want to, they're excited about their candidates that they're interested in. It's also just about a basic human instinct of wanting to contribute in some way. They want to, maybe their friends are running, especially local candidates. Maybe it's someone that they want to support. And it's a way of showing outwardly that they're helping each other. They're part of the team. So we might think it's because of one thing, but actually there's a lot behind it. I was thinking about this in terms of the Noah story. And believe me, I'm going to get to Nancy through this too. So the Noah story is one of our oldest stories. It's actually, they have a version of the Noah story in a Ugaritic text and many different texts. We believe historically there was a very large flood. As people, especially as they started farming, of course they're in regions that would flood. And this was a real scary thing, just like earthquakes or hurricanes or any of the kind of things that today we're still scared of, but back then they didn't even know where they came from or how they happened, and they must have been completely in shock whenever they happened. So it's about that, and it's obviously it's a fun story to tell our kids. Look, there's a boat, there's animals. It's kind of a cute story, but it's also a really hard story. Theologically, it says God was fed up with us. He said, I'm just going to destroy the world. And the interesting thing is, we actually don't know why. The question that my son asked, why? What was so wrong with the human beings at the beginning of this world that God actually said, I need to wipe them out? They were filled with some kind of violence, terror, but actually we don't know. We never meet these human beings. We don't know exactly. The only clues that were given are actually the clues from the portion from Noah's Ark. Because Noah's Ark, in addition to this old story about the flood, is also about what are the central ingredients human beings need in order to have a society, in order to live together, in order to have a world that God does not want to destroy. And what do we learn from the story? There's a couple of things that we learn based on what Noah is told to do. These are the basic, just like the signs. It's not the obvious things. I want to go deeper underneath it. Noah, the first thing, what is Noah asked to do by God when God decides to destroy the world? What does Noah have to build? An ark. Okay? It's not about the ark. Noah has to serve. Human beings need to be in the role of service, just like putting up those lawn signs. There's something about us that is happier, more fulfilled, more ourselves when we are serving others, serving a larger cause. So, and the second thing we learn, who needs to go onto this ark in addition to Noah and his family? All the animals. You have to sacrifice. It's not so easy to be on an ark in this story. But there was a lesson. Human beings, in addition to serving, because you could serve and it wouldn't necessarily be a sacrifice, but you actually have to give up something. We have to sacrifice for the greater good. It's not only that we have to serve, but we have to sacrifice. And the last piece from that, I'm going to tell you another piece later, but the last piece from the Noah's Ark story has to do with the timing. How long, and it's a sort of a trick question, maybe Harvey probably will know, but how long does it take that they have to be on this ark? 40 days. There's actually two different time frames. They also say 150 days. But you have to have patience. Things aren't going to happen. Believe it or not, even before there was a cell phone, people were antsy. They had shpilkus. They wanted things to happen. The story, one of the greatest injustices in all of Torah, the greatest sins was the golden calf. Right? Why did the golden calf happen, according to the rabbis? Because we couldn't wait one more hour for Moses to come down. Right? That's what they say. You have to have patience. You have to serve, you have to sacrifice, and you have to be willing to wait. In order to have a society together, we have to have a collective agreement. And we don't know anything about what the society was like before, but we know that people weren't serving, they weren't sacrificing, and they weren't waiting. Another story that is told, that's at the end of the portion. There's another kind of destruction story. We know it, the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel is a really interesting, I love it because it's the 9th chapter and it's 11 verses. It's the Tower of Babel. I remember after 9/11 thinking, how is that even possible? It is, see? They predicted it, right? So the Tower of Babel is human beings are serving, they're sacrificing, and they're being patient. They're building this massive tower. The only problem is it's uniform. Everyone is the same. They're speaking the same language, they're doing the same thing. So the last lesson, because those first three will lead you most of the way, but unless you have the ability to have disagreement, to have difference, you can't build a society. You can't build a world. That was the missing ingredient in the story. The story, of course, the Tower of Babel is destroyed by God, and now we have multiple languages. Why do we need that? We need to know that not even if we think we're right, someone else can be right too. That in order to have a society together, we have to have these 4 ingredients. And these are the 4 ingredients that didn't exist in the world before. I bring all this up and I bring it back to Nancy. As I was thinking about this. Nancy, when she walked into our office many years ago, 8 years ago now, and we were desperate to find an administrator. We didn't know what we were looking for. We know we had work and this and this. But doing a role, especially at a place like Shir Shalom, which has a very small staff, we're very minuscule. Everyone needs to kind of pitch in, to think, to adapt, to be able to serve, to be able to sacrifice, to have patience, and to understand the meaning of diversity and difference, and to be able to celebrate that. And we couldn't have gotten someone who more represented that than Nancy. She's one of the most selfless people that I know. She's willing to serve every day of her life and sacrifice. She can be patient. Or at least that she doesn't really get angry. She'll say, Rabbi, can you look into this one thing? But that's good. You should do that. And of course, she's coming from a different faith, but she understands and loves the multiplicity that we have, not just in her role as administrative assistant, but also in just who she is as a human being. So I'm going to bring Nancy up here. She's been working hard. This is something she's not as used to. She's actually going to address us. So I'm going to go down here so I can hear her.
Which microphone should I?
Go right here.
This one here? Yeah. Good evening, everybody. This one? Okay. First of all, I'm very happy to see each and every one of you tonight. Thank you for coming. So most of you in the sanctuary are old enough to remember the Rolling Stones song, "You Can't Always Get What You Want." Or you might have heard your parents playing it if you're not that old. The lyrics are, "You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need." I've always thought that describes myself coming to work at Shir Shalom. I had my heart set on working at a senior facility, since I have a degree in gerontology and that's my background. But I believe that God had other plans for me. I feel He encouraged me to come and work for the benefit of the Jewish branch of His family. So that's what led me to showing up on your doorstep one day with a resume in hand. Happily, when I started my work here, there were 5 mature ladies volunteering in the office who helped show me the ropes. They were Rella Corus, Donna Horwitz, Sonia Sugarman, and the late Mickey Epter and Jenny Pohl. They helped me tremendously. I very much have enjoyed my work with the congregation for 8 years and 9 high holy days, which almost counts as a whole year in itself. You've always been such a thoughtful and giving group, and never more so than with your outpouring love and support during the recent loss of my son. The list would be way too long to thank everyone who helped me with my work at Shir Shalom, and we would never get to the Oneg with the chocolate goodies that are waiting for us there. But regarding tonight's Oneg, I would like to sincerely thank my friend Lori Duvall, who is sponsoring the Oneg in memory of my son Jeff. Thank you, Lori. So if any of you help me in any way, please consider yourself thanked and appreciated. I do want to mention my supportive coworkers, including Joanne, Renee, Cantor Frank, Inav, Cindy, and Harvey, and of course, Bruce, Todd, and the rest of the board. But I would like to take a moment to specifically thank a few people that impacted my life greatly at Temple and beyond. First, Rabbi Alex, who has been a positive spiritual influence in my life and an upbeat presence in our office. He taught me the belief of things in life being a blessing and a curse, and now I do try to look at life that way. Second, Julia Cohan, who in her role as volunteer has helped me in countless ways, big and small, from setting up email for our staff, recruiting people for our trips, to supporting plans that I come up with. She made everything so much more manageable here. Thank you for everything you've done for me and for Temple. Third, Marcia Budgie. Marcia started out as an office volunteer, then became a walking companion during COVID, and went on to become a dear, lifelong friend. I love you. Limiting my comments to 3s, I would like to share the 3 things I'm most looking forward to in retirement. Spending more time with friends and family, including my husband Mike, my daughter Amanda, and her girls that are here tonight, Ellie and Grace, and of course my grandchildren in Michigan as well. Second, what I'm looking forward to is cleaning out closets and drawers at home, because I know how to have a good time. And finally, joining my Jewish friends and helping to repair the world. Shabbat Shalom.
Are you not allowed to leave yet?
No.
Okay, so where's Joanne? Come on up. Thank you. So sweet. So Joanne has prepared a goodie bag for you.
Oh my goodness.
We learned this from Rob Goldberg at Federation. That was so cute what he did. So we prepared a whole list of things that Joanne will tell you. Here, come over here to the mic.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. About 8 years ago, we placed an ad for an administrative assistant. Site where we placed the ad. Then one day, Nancy McGorry came to the temple in person to hand deliver her resume. Nancy stood out from the crowd from the first day I met her, and needless to say, it's been a wonderful 8 years. I'm going to try not to cry. Nancy hasn't just quote-unquote done her job for the past 8 years. She has immersed herself in her job and our community. She has gotten to know many of our congregants. She has delivered new member bags, taught bunco at the Women of Shir Shalom game nights, organized many temple trips. She took the Intro to Judaism course. She volunteered at bingo. She took and at the Thanksgiving Basket Project. And she spoke at Yom Kippur Reflections a few years ago, and much more. As you can see, Nancy has always gone above and beyond, and for that we will be forever grateful. Nancy, you will truly be missed, but we hope that you will stay in touch. We wish you great happiness in your retirement. We have a few gifts for you, and I'm going to start with a plaque. Going to read this so everyone knows what it says. With deepest appreciation, Nancy McGorry, Administrative Assistant from 2016 to 2024. On this first day of November 2024, this is to honor and thank you for your dedicated and caring, exceptional service to our temple family. You will always hold a special place in our hearts.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's gorgeous.
Just want you to know there are two of them. One is for you to have at home, and one will be at your desk here.
Oh, I was wondering, did I get to take it with me, or was it going to stay here? So that's perfect.
And of course, the gifts are in a Shir Shalom bag, thanks to our Women of Shir Shalom. We all know your favorite sports team, so we thought it would be nice if you had a brand new mug to drink from. And I won't unwrap it just because it's keeping it safe, but it's a mug of your favorite team.
Not everyone knows.
Oh, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Go Cards. Right, Lori?
We also ordered a world religions poster that is on the way. We thought you might find that interesting. We have gift cards for you from two of your favorite restaurants, we were told, Buffalo Brew Pub and Glen Park Tavern.
Perfect, thank you.
And since we all know that you love cats, you will have more time to yourself. You can do cat puzzles. And I know that you always enjoyed the dark chocolate that I keep at my desk for everyone. Well, here is a bag for you to have at home in case you need it.
Well, thank you. Now yours won't disappear so quickly.
It's been an honor to work with you. Thank you and mazel tov.
Well, thank you for everything. There's been so much good you've done over the years with me. I appreciate it.
All right, so now we're going to have you come out over here.
Okay.
And why don't we have your kids and family, is it okay? You can go around your
Girls
mom,
want
your
to
grandma? They went to preschool over here at the LE3 school. So they feel very comfortable in this building.
And that used to be the highlight of my day when I got to go down to the preschool and visit for a little bit. So, unfortunately, they grew up and out of pre-K though.
All right, we're gonna surround your grandmother here. What do they call you?
Grammy.
Grammy. Okay, so Cantor and I are gonna offer a blessing. And as we're getting set up, I want everyone to rise. And we make our blessing sign if you're able. Yeah, it's probably easier to keep it lower. And think about maybe a word that you'd like to offer Nancy on her journey. So we'll do our blessing first. May God bless you and watch over you. May God shine God's light upon you and grant you comfort. May God lift up God's face to you and grant you and all your family peace. And we say, Amen. Amen. All right, throw out one-word blessings you have for Nancy. Good health. Family.
Back at you.
All right, we're going to collect all of her stuff together. I think she's going to need her grandchildren to help carry
Would you
it.
help me take those things? I would
So
just
heavy.
like to
You
say
want to
to
try to
Hannah
help?
Frank, even when I don't understand the lyrics, I've always really enjoyed the melodies so much. They're so beautiful and still touching, even if you don't quite understand the lyrics.
You want to try this one too? Or do you want to give this to your grandma? All right, well done.
Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Well, since we're standing, we're going to remain standing for Alenu, and I need Naomi up here. Where are you? Back from Atlanta or Florida or wherever you were. Make way for Naomi. Page 586, Alenu. Page 591. We turn to the Mourner's Cottage, page 598. We had a couple of losses this week. First of all, Cindy B. Seide, who was buried today. It was remarkable. She wrote her whole eulogy. I've never actually seen that before, and if you're ever thinking about it, I can get you a copy of this. She thanked every member of her family for all the beautiful times they had together. It was so touching. I've never seen that before. And we had a terrible loss. Deborah Cohen's grandson, 18 years old, was struck by a train in East Aurora. And please keep his family in your prayers. His name is Jet Harris Heyman. He was a really beautiful, wonderful young man who always had a smile on his face, and his father told me he always would say, "I love you." So many times, sometimes the father would say, "No, not another time. You are to work." He was working at a Mexican restaurant in East Aurora. Actually, they closed down the restaurant. They have not opened yet. And he helped with his father's bagel business. And I got a few of the bagels, the last bagels that he baked. It's a very sad loss. There's no, currently there's no memorial service planned, but there will be in the future. On our Shloshim list from the last month, we're remembering Sherry Barba, David Bloomberg, Sandra Brooks, Virginia Ellis, Sue Frank, Rita Pollack, Dr. Lawrence Seltzer, Michael Solzbach, and Emily Tall. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Joshua Anbar, John W. Atkinson, Philip Bookbinder, Max Brown, Rebecca Cohen, Sarah Cohen, Rose Eisgrow, Hannah Fishman, Nancy Frankfurt, Alan Gilman, Dora Goodman, Benjamin Green, Dora Heskins, Gittel Hutner, Simon Cariff, Alan Lackner, William Lesser, Alan Lieberman, Arnold Lowenthal, Rachel Posner, Edna Raphael, Harry S. Rubin, Neil Rudin, Harold S. Russlander, Sylvia Adler Sapphire, Max Schmeidler, Sam Sirota, Carl Silver, Minnie Baker Silverman, Lee Singer, Philip Slepian, Sarah Slutsky, Ruben Sunshine, Leah Tepper, Basie Sepnek, Louis Tobkin, Irving Weiner, Ruben Weinstein, Mildred Ziller, and Bernard Zinderman. If there's other names, just raise your hand. Yeah.
My brother, John Samuel Fine.
Oh no, was that recent?
No,
He died at this time.
He drew his last breath from the fact that he had bulbar polio, was in an iron lung. And then somehow he got back to breathing on his own, by prayer, by my father, and he got a doctorate in sociology and taught in the California school system, and then came back to Cincinnati and also taught at several other local colleges.
Thank you. May his memory be for blessing it.
Yes.
Sarah Holder, Andrea Borgelli, Helen Group, my mom,
All those whose custom it is to rise, page 598. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma divrach yurtei, V'yamlik malchutei, V'chayachon, V'yamachon, V'chayed, Echol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav, V'zman Kariv, V'yamru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbam V'rach Li'olam Olmei Omaya. Yitbarak, V'yishtabak, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shemei V'kudusha, V'rechu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'yimaru, amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru, amen. Oseh shalom v'yimaramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, and we say,
Amen.
Zikronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. Just quickly, at the end of the prayer, there's a word that when the prayer book gets written, then things get added. But often I'll put in Al Yoshvei Tevel, which means, in addition to all of Israel, all the world. And I think even in this prayer book, it is included at different places. But almost all newer versions have that. Just this prayer, this Siddur hadn't quite caught up. So if you hear that, that's the reason. Okay, I'm ready for Bruce. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this evening's Erev Shabbat service and our farewell to Nancy. Nancy, on this next chapter of your life, go Cardinals. See, we didn't ask whether we wanted maybe a World Series championship. Maybe that's one of the wishes. Nancy and I have had a very special relationship over the years because for all those years when I was membership chair and we had all those cook-offs, you know, I would call in with all the late changes to the list of entries and all of that. And you know how Nancy is so nice when she answers the phone? Congregation, Shir Shalom, this is Nancy speaking. How may I help you? When she saw it was me in the caller ID, I was like, yeah, Bruce, what do you want? But whatever changes I needed, she always did with a smile. So thank you, Nancy, for everything that you've done for this temple for 8 years. Thank you to Diane Gordon for being our service greeter this evening with help from Walter occasionally. A little help, a little bit of help. And of course, thank you to Rabbi and Cantor for a beautiful service this evening. We want to wish Mark Neininger a happy birthday. We're going to have a cake for him at the Onig. Thank you to Robert Altman for sponsoring the cake. Thank you to Joanne for not baking the cake. We appreciate that. We want to thank also those that helped make our sanctuary look so special. Marina Finkelstein, Robin Rayfield, Diane Gordon, Sheila Bernard Tucker, Terry Cohn, and Betsy Zappia. Thank you, ladies, for all your hard work in making our sanctuary so special. Although, Diane's out there already, isn't she? Oh, no pumpkin pies to be had anywhere. A little letdown there. Tomorrow morning, Torah study, 9 a.m. That is at Temple Beth Tzedek via their Zoom as well. Shabbat morning service is at 11 o'clock, and this is at the Amberley this week. So
No, the Canterbury.
so this is incorrect.
Yes.
Okay. It's not at the Amberley. It is at Canterbury Woods. So it's back at its normal place. Community Religious School will be here in the building Sunday at 9 a.m. You may have noticed the very moving posters out in the lobby, in the foyer and in the hallway. They're all on loan to us. They are titled Resilience in the Rubble, Portraits of Strength After Destruction, marking the 1-year anniversary of October 7th. We do hope that you'll check them out before you leave this evening. November, all this month, our Tikkun Olam team, the collection is for our Thanksgiving Baskets food drive. That will, of course, take place right up through Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving, the weekend before Thanksgiving, we'll have volunteers to go over to North Presbyterian Church on Saturday morning to assemble the baskets and on Sunday to help distribute them to all the agencies that come and collect them. 35 plus years. How many, do you know the exact number? 38. Wow. We have been doing this now for 38 years with North Presbyterian and providing Thanksgiving dinners for needy families throughout Western New York. God, I can only imagine how many dinners we've provided over the years. I mean, that's well into the many thousands and thousands. It's a wonderful thing. So if you can contribute in any way, did we give out a list of what people are looking for? Was that in the email? Yeah. So we have a list of what to donate. So please do so if you will. And then if you can bring in a frozen turkey as we get closer, or money, of course, because we're going to be buying a lot of turkeys. So anything you can do to help that would be greatly appreciated. Tuesday is a very, very important day for us. It is a day that we, of course, are faced with making a very critical decision. How many Shavettas do we want? And do we want fries with them? So whatever your politics, whatever your affiliation, we can all agree, vote for Shavettas. Vote for chicken. That is this Tuesday from 4 to 7 or until sold out. The weekly walk for the hostages continues each Sunday. That is meeting at the tennis courts near the bike path on North Forest at 10 o'clock. List of announcements this week just with Women of Shir Shalom. They have so much stuff going on. Their paid off luncheon is this Sunday. 12. Okay. Okay, that part's correct. And we still want RSVPs to Maureen, or is it too late?
No, they can call me.
Okay, you can still call Maureen if you're planning to come before 12:30 tomorrow. Then on Monday, we will begin collecting the donations for the rummage sale. The email went out, and I think we have some flyers out there as well. We have specific drop-off times starting Monday, and they'll have volunteers here all week to take your donations. And then if you can help out in any way on the collections, on Saturday for the final setup, that would be wonderful. Sunday, the day of the rummage sale. This is their major fundraiser, and it allows women of Shir Shalom to do so much for our congregation. Okay, if you're on Tuesday, you can drop off rummage and buy chivettas. So just don't get them mixed up. Don't drop off chivettas and buy rummage. That would be a mistake.
And put your turkey, you can bring turkey.
And you can bring food for the Thanksgiving baskets.
A trifecta.
Chris, when can we start collecting the frozen turkeys?
We have some room in the freezers here, so people can start.
Maybe like the week before Thanksgiving? Okay, it's in the email. All right. Next Friday, Erev Shabbat service, will be the return of Jews of all hues for year 2. Friday, we will be kicking things off with our guest speaker, Dr. Marla Brett Schneider from the University of New Hampshire. She is a professor of political theory, and she will be talking about Jews of Africa. And that's how we're kicking off year 2. Then the Oneg Shabbat will be sponsored by Michael Berger. We appreciate that. And catered by Bloom and Rose. If you need anything at all, anything, please feel free to reach out to Rabbi, Cantor, Todd, Joanne, or myself. We are always here for you. And please join us for the Oneg Shabbat, which is sponsored by Lori Duval Jackson in memory of Nancy's son, Jeffrey Smith. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. If you'd like to sponsor an Oneg for any occasion or no occasion whatsoever, talk to Joanne. As always, we thank you for being part of our wonderful congregation, Shir Shalom family. Shabbat Shalom.
Additionally, for the month of November, there will be 2 opportunities to learn some ballroom dancing steps with Karen Murphy. Thursday night, December 7th, and also, November 7th and November 14th. We have 2 opportunities in November. And in November, we're starting our Purim gatherings. I think that's on the 17th or that Sunday, let's see. But anyway,
coming up.
that's coming up.
Yeah,
so
17th.
Our first Purim gathering, it is not too late to come forward and say, hey, I want to be in it. I want a small part. I want a big part. I want to try out. Whatever it is, we're going to be having a great time this year. So, yeah, those are 2 things that I thought of. And then also...
Well, let's sing some happy birthday for Mark
Yeah.
over there. I think he deserves a
Mark,
big
you
Yom
wanna
Huledet
stand up?
Sameach.
There we go. Anyone else have a birthday in November?
Well, in November we got a bunch. I have a birthday. Joanne does over there. But we don't have a birthday today. My sister's birthday is today.
Here we go.
Yeah, see, it's a popular day.
Yom Huledet Sameach. 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 And many more.
And we have a special cake, I think, for him.
Yeah.
6:25, Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Hazai L'eret Shemo Nivra, V'yacharei Hiklot HaKol, Levado Yimlok Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hover, V'hu Yeh V'tifara, Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, וחמשילו להכבירה, ולי ראשית, ולי תכלית, ולא אחוז והמשרה. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, יהיה נשא בחסדו, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, והוא אלי וחי גלי, וצורך לי ויצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ויום אקרא.
אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ליד נעשה בחסדו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא.
Last verse. בידו הפקיר רוחי, ביתי שם ויעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא.
אדון עולם אשר מלך,
בטרם כל יציר נברא, ליד נעשה בחסדו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. As you came in peace, please leave in peace, and please return your prayer books to the front of the sanctuary, minus the leaflet. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. on this for just a minute. We'll see how it sounds. Come on, just 1 minute. I'm not going to be here. Is this going to be enough length? Are you okay standing here?
I'm not sure how much, because, like, with my clients, I mean, I know, I do understand, I'm truly, I just don't know that I can stand right here, like, maybe I'm gonna stand in the middle. I have to stay here. Speaking of testing. Hello, do I need to? Oh, okay. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. Elohai Neshama Shanatata Bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama Shanatata Bi Tehorai. Elohai